Hi doctor, so let's go to the first point, which is the pest management in old palm plantation. I will be talking about the common pests in old palm plantations, which is the bagworms, or can be also be known as defoliators. For example, Metisa plana, Petroma pendula, and Mahasena corbeti, which can be identified by their shape and size of the cocoon. Metisa plana is a major pest both in West and East Malaysia, and Petroma pendula is the most commonly dispersed species in Peninsular Malaysia's old palm fields, and was still the most widely distributed species. And although Mahasena corbeti is rarely mentioned as a problematic pest in Peninsular Malaysia, it is a prominent defoliator with vast distributions in eastern Sabah and parts of Peninsular Malaysia. Very brief symptoms that are caused by the bagworms are small feeding holes on fronds, which are the first signs of bagworm damage. Fronds containing a lot of active bagworms appear brown in the damaged areas, which are usually in the upper part of the palm fronds. And when a large number of bagworms eat on a frond, the entire frond is affected and it eventually dries up. Integrated Pest Management (IPM) is an ideal method for controlling bagworm outbreaks in old palm plantations. There are three main components in the IPM program that includes the usage of Bacillus thuringiensis, the bioinsecticides, planting of beneficial plants to attract beneficial insects, and the installations of pheromone traps. Normon et al. In 2010 have set up the pheromone traps, and they have found that the number of bagworms was reduced by 77% to 89% in successive years, and by 85% to 94% with the additions of BT aerial sprayings. In order to attract beneficial insects, plants such as Cassia cobanensis, Antigonon leptopus, Euphorbia heterophylla, and Tunera subulata are planted.
Palm oil has a lot of natural abiotic and biotic stresses, and one of the stresses is Ganoderma basal stem rot. Ganoderma is the fungus that can cause this disease that founded in year 1931 at Bukit Besar. Until now, 4% of 60,000 oil palm crops in Malaysia have attacked by Ganoderma. If this problem does not solve, the serious effect and ability in spreading until 400,000 hectares of oil palm plantation in year 2025. Basal stem rot disease is able to attack the oil palm crop around 2 years old after planting, and a research about 25 years old tree were recorded causes loss in between 40% to 50%. The impact of the disease is cause losses to group of Felda until achieve ringgit Malaysia 3.8 million each year. In Malaysia, some of our plantation are more than 100 years old. So this disease is prevalent, it is real, and it kills the palm during the economic life of the palm. The current control strategies for basal stem rot disease include physical, chemical, and biological procedure. These methods are intended to curtail the incidence of basal stem rot after replanting and increase the productive life of the infected oil palm. So first and foremost, for the physical control, the sanitation involve elimination measures such as clearing, and withdrawing, intending to minimize the spread of the inoculum. So these infected palms can be chipped, pulverized, and stacked in with drones between planting to promote natural decomposition. However, the procedures are expensive. The second one is chemical control. So the use of fungicides requires careful consideration, and results need reporting from field evaluation. This method, in combination with soil mounding, appears to be effective treatments, and the costs require reassessment. It is also involved pressurized trunk injection using hexaconazole may be useful, according to Muhammad et al. In 2014. And lastly, for biological control, a great deal of research has been undertaken on biological control application of Ganoderma by using fungus and bacteria, but with little proven practical application.
Another stress of oil palm is freckle spots on the leaves caused by fungus, namely Cercospora elaeidis. Freckle spots on the palm leaves is firstly reported in 1948. This fungus usually occurs in the young seedlings in the nursery and is frequently carried to the planting field. Although it may not cause fatality, this disease retards the growth of the palms. An early signs of freckles leaf spot is the pinpoint on the surface of the leaf, which become advanced, where the lichen coalesces and the tissues dries out to become grayish brown and brittle. This disease tends to become aggressive as the leaf age, and the process may proceed very rapidly during the wet season. Once the seedlings in the nursery are infected by this fungus, within 8 months it will become severe. In the field, this disease reduces the average number of leaf imaging by 10%, the length of front by 15%, and the curve by 25%. Malaysian Palm Oil Board stated that this disease can reduce yields by more than 10% over the first 7 years of production. The management strategy for this disease, especially at the nursery stage, is by applying cultural control and sanitation. Control of freckles with fungicide, for example the benomials, is more effective if done at nursery stage. However, any fungicide control in the field has not been as effective. Alternatively, all dried leaf and other badly infected leaf of oil palms in nursery should be removed by pruning and destroying or even burned. Besides, a wider spacing of seedlings and techniques that involve the minimum transplanting shock may reduce the level of field infection.
According to the survey, Rattus diomenicus, Rattus argentiventus, and Rattus diardi are rat species found in oil palm plantation in Peninsular Malaysia. With the most dominant species attacking the palm, especially the mature tree, is the Rattus diomenicus. And this species is better adapted to live in oil palm due to its agility and arboreal habit. Meanwhile, rats commonly found in nurseries and young oil palm are the rice-field rats, Rattus argentiventus. Rattus diardi is usually found in human residence, but it has also become abundant in oil palm, particularly in controlled Rattus diomenicus area, and due to the introduction of pollinating weevil, Laudobius cameronicus, which serve as source of food for Rattus diardi. Impact on an oil palm. Rat can damage both mature and young planting palm. For the nursery stage, the feeding of apical tissue can stunt the growth or even kill the palm. They prefer to eat the petiole, which is responsible for the production of fronds, and this can damage the frond formations. For mature palm, the attack is concentrated on the inflorescence and fruit bunch, which can disrupt the fruit development and reduce the yield. Management of rodents used in oil palm in Malaysia. The management uses baiting with anticoagulant rodenticides. Barn owl Tyto alba scopoli is not only proved to be an effective predator to rat, but also points to a greater reliance on biological means to control rats in oil palm, which to be proven efficient and generally tolerant baits. Not only that, compared to the usage of rodenticides and operational cost of baiting, these methods are more cost effective. Hence, according to the survey, more estates start their own barn owl programs, and some even integrate the method of using both chemicals and biological controls in managing the rodent populations in oil palm. Rodenticide use came from first and second generation. Warfarin is a first generation rodenticide, which are widely used due to its low toxicity towards barn owl. However, there are reported of rates gaining a resistance to first generation anticoagulant, which contributes to the usage of second generation rodenticides such as bromadiolan and brodifacoum. However, unlike the first generation rodenticides, the second generation rodenticide possesses a great risk to barn owls.
Hey everyone,
now we were talking about the weed problem they're facing in the well palm. Have been studied by the Maizatu Seriza Muhammad. Species of Eleusinia indica was found to be one of the most common grass weed in the immediate of planting in well palm plantation in Malaysia. That has followed by the species of Imperata cylindrica with 81.2% and enrichment muticum in 71.8%. This type of the weed are usually classified into a group or the category as a part of the management strategy. In weed management strategy, they have three common strategy that have been stated in the IWM, integrated weed management, are by using of the chemical control, biological control, and cultural control. The chemical control are often that the dominant technique that they use in the IWM program because it show the most effectively technique and quick response in the weed control. The example of the chemical control are herbicide. Almost all of the companies in Malaysia is using the herbicide. The second one is the biological control. The biological control are grazing animal such as a goat, cow, and sheep. And the lastly will be the cultural control. So this control has been implemented in FGW plantation wilayah Jengka. The example of the cultural control is the use of the empty fruit bunch for the mulching. So the mulching is a functional as to conserve the moisture and the control with growth.